Hello, everyone. Welcome to the February edition of the Culips English Podcast Members Live Stream. My name is Andrew, and it's awesome to be here with you today, or tonight, or this afternoon, depending on your location around the world. Here in Korea, where I live, it is the evening time, of course. But I know we have a global audience, and maybe some people are from different places around the world. Wherever you are on this wonderful planet that we live on, welcome to the live stream tonight. Before we get started here, I should double check with you that you can hear me and see me okay. So if everything looks okay, if everything sounds okay, then it would be just fantastic if you could leave me a comment and let me know so that I can get that worry off of my mind and I don't have to think about it as we progress here with the stream tonight. So everyone, you may notice that I am by myself, and I think Kassy may be joining me a little bit later. We'll have to see. The plan is that she will be joining tonight, but I'm not exactly sure if she'll make it or not. If you have watched some of the previous Culips live streams, you'll know that after Kassy moved from Korea to her new home in Thailand, she's been having some internet connection issues in her home in Thailand. And so the last couple of times when we tried to do the live stream with Kassy, unfortunately, it was a disaster and she got disconnected many times and we couldn't do a very good live stream. But we upgraded her internet line. So her internet has been upgraded at her home, and she says that it's working better now, but we still haven't tested it in this kind of live stream situation yet. So we'll see if she can connect tonight and join us. That would be awesome, and I hope that happens. If not, well, then you just have to deal with me. And I'll try my best to solo host the live stream and give you a little bit of entertainment and a little bit of English education at the same time. I'll try my best to do that. I think just to warm up here, I'll go through the comments and we'll see who is joining us here in tonight's stream. Looks like we have lots of comments here. So, the first comment I can't read, but it says, hand pink waving. So I'm imagining that's like an emoji or something that just didn't get translated well to the chat. But hello and welcome to the chat. We also have Chennai, welcome. Great to have you here. From China. Okay, welcome. See and hear okay. Fantastic. Good. We have Franz here today. Hello, Franz. Franz says everything is okay. Perfect. We have Sammy from Japan joining us as well. Awesome. Wow, I recognize not as many names this evening, which means there's a lot of new names, which is fantastic. Kuing says, hello, Andrew. Sounds good. Okay, perfect. That's reassuring to hear. And Chennai is from India. Okay, awesome. And we also have Pigeon T. I like that name. I don't know where Pigeon is from, but it says, hi, everything is okay. Okay, and welcome to the live stream, Pigeon. We have Katrin from Germany. Okay, Katrin, welcome. Great to have you here. Here is a name I recognize. Galina from Israel. Hi, and welcome back to another live stream, Galina. Nice to have you again. Oh, here's another name that I recognize. Jazz Haru. Hi from Korea. Okay. Hi, Jazz Haru. Welcome to another live stream. Oh, and another name that I recognize. Okay, so we have a good mix here this evening. We have a mix of some new names and some new people that maybe are joining us for the first time, and we have some mainstays, some regulars. It's great. Kareem from Egypt. Hello, Kareem. Welcome back to another stream. Oh, Pigeon is from Taiwan. Okay. Wow, another very, very global stream. Amazing. And Sakura from Japan. Sakura, welcome. Oh, this is an interesting comment from Chennai. It's really amazing to see you talking on the screen, not only your voice but also your face. Chennai, remember, is in China but is Korean. Okay, good. All right. Wow. I think there are so many comments here. I'm a little bit shocked at how many comments there are. Let's go through a couple more before we move on. Laura is here from Argentina. And apologies if I don't mention every single comment. Guys, sometimes I can't see everyone, but I'll try and talk about as many as I can here, as many as possible. Yoko, good evening, Andrew. I'm Yoko from Japan. It's my second time to join the live stream. All right. Great to have you back, Yoko. Simona from the Czech Republic. I think we might be breaking a record with this stream for the most countries represented. I don't know if we've ever had this many different countries, so that's really cool. Yuri from Korea. All right. Welcome, Yuri. Ingrid from Brazil. Hi, Ingrid. Welcome to the stream. And we have Birdfly95. Okay, great username there as well. I wonder what the story is behind that username. Anyways, first time in the live stream from Belgium, but a Korean. Now on my way to work on the train. Internet can be difficult, but I will follow it. Okay, well, I guess you are starting your workday off there, Birdfly. Welcome to the stream, and I hope your connection is stable as you make your way to work. Ah, yes, I remember. Okay, so Ingrid and Carla are twins from Brazil, and they are both watching together. I love this. So welcome to both of you. And, oh, Cindy, I guess maybe this is the Korean spelling of an English name. I'm not sure. I'm happy to join this live stream for the first time. I'm listening to Culips every day. Okay, this is your first time. Welcome to the stream. Great to have you here. And we also have Harar. I'm definitely mispronouncing that. That's a hard syllable for me to say. So apologies on the pronunciation. From KSA. Hara from KSA. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, I think, right? If I'm wrong about that, please correct me as well. But from Saudi Arabia, that's awesome. Welcome to the stream. I think that catches up on all the comments. And yeah, I'm very impressed with our global audience tonight. I think the only places that aren't really represented very well right now is North America, really. North America. But other than that, we've got people from every continent, right? From Asia, from Europe, even from Africa with Egypt and the Middle East. Amazing. Okay, everyone. So I kind of had to throw a plan together for this live stream because I was expecting to do it with Kassy, but at the same time, I had in the back of my mind that if her connection isn't stable enough to join us, then I'd have to do it alone. So I have a plan for us tonight that I hope will be okay with you, and we'll just try our best to have a fun and enjoyable English hangout time here for about the next 45 minutes or so. And of course, if you have any questions about anything at any time, please feel free to just ask in the chat. It's great when we have a lot of interaction and I can answer your questions and we can talk back and forth this way. So yeah, be active in the chat. That really helps me out, and I love interacting with you guys. And maybe I'll even try and open the live stream a little bit later. So if anybody wants to call in and talk with me, I know that it's not so easy to do. It takes some confidence, it takes some bravery. But if you would like to try and do that, I'll try and set aside a little bit of time towards the end of the stream so that you could call in and you don't have to say too much. You could just tell me where you're from or why you're learning English or maybe what your hobbies are or really anything that you want to talk about. I'll leave that up for you to decide. But yeah, it's always fun when somebody does decide to call in and talk with me for a few minutes. So we'll see if we could do that towards the end of the episode. I do have a question that I want to ask you right off the bat, and it's just a kind of warm-up question to get us thinking in English and maybe writing in English for a little bit. And then later on, I would also like to take a look at a really interesting news article that I came across in December, actually. So it's a little bit old, but it's not really, it doesn't really matter that it's a little bit old. It's still relevant to today. And I just thought it was such a fascinating story. And actually, I saved it on my phone because I wanted to talk about it on Culips. And I think probably in the future, we'll do a Culips episode about this topic. But I thought we could talk about it here tonight, just to sort of preview the topic and also to maybe see your opinion, get your opinion. And then maybe even when we make the Culips episode, we could include some of your opinions in the show. I like that idea. I think that would be a cool idea to do. So let me pull up the warm-up question. And we are on the very last day of February, right? Very last day of February here, February 28th, a very short month, goes by quickly, which I think is good. I don't know how you feel, but for me, I always think of February as kind of meh. It's like a meh month. It's not really too exciting. Usually weather-wise, we're still in winter. It's still a little bit cold, but at least here in the northern hemisphere, it's that way. Our listeners in the south will have the opposite, of course, but for me here in the northern hemisphere, the weather is cold, but you can see spring coming. Spring is coming, and you just want spring to come really quickly, but you have to go through February. And at least for me, mentally, it feels like once February is finished, then spring is really, really close, and it seems to happen pretty quickly here in Korea. Usually like early March, mid-March, it's starting to feel quite warm and spring-like. So personally, I'm happy that February is finished. I like to say goodbye to February and move on into the spring. But yeah, let's take a look back at February for just a moment. And I have that warm-up question up there. There it is. The question is, what was the most exciting thing that you did in February? What was the most exciting thing that you did in February? I had a pretty great February myself, personally. If you're a regular listener to the Culips bonus episode series, you'll probably know about most of the things that I did in February already. So maybe I won't repeat those stories again, but let's see what you guys have to say. So think back on your month. What did you do? What did you get up to? What was the most exciting thing? And I'll wait a moment for your comments. As we're waiting, we have a comment here from Chennai. Chennai says, I would like to build up some courage to call in just like you did in KBI back in Canada. KBI. Trying to think about what KBI is. Okay, Chennai, you might have to explain the comment because I can't remember. Is this something I talked about on the podcast before? I don't know exactly what you're referencing, but definitely please build up the courage. That would be great to call in. I'd love it. Okay, here's a great comment. Yuko said, during the cold temperatures, I enjoyed looking at the full blooming yellow plum trees. Let me see. I think with my software, I can give a little bit of feedback. And I know that many of you like it when I give you feedback. So let's see if I can do that. I would say, just to make it slightly more natural, during the cold temperatures, I enjoyed looking at the full blooming yellow plum trees. Okay, so if we change it like that, Yuko, then it will sound a lot more natural. Not that your first sentence was bad or anything. I could understand it perfectly, but this just makes it sound a little bit more natural. And you may be wondering, why do we say temperatures during the cold temperatures? In fact, you could say during the cold temperature, but if I think of it in singular, just the cold temperature, then it makes me feel like it was only like one short time or just one day. But usually when trees are blooming, they bloom for a while. And if you're walking outside, you might pass by them every day for a week or something like that. And the temperature is probably cold every day of the week. And so that's why we use the plural for that situation. But to comment just on your comment, that sounds amazing. I'm jealous that you have some plum tree blossoms already happening in Japan. Here in Korea, I can see that some of the trees are just getting ready to bloom and blossom, but they're not quite there yet. In fact, earlier in the month when I was in Canada, which would have been like early February, maybe around the first week of February, I actually went to Victoria on Vancouver Island in British Columbia, my home province, which is the most western province in Canada. And when I was there, I noticed that there were many flowers in bloom already, and that was in early February. So that area of the world is very warm and temperate, kind of even in the winter. It doesn't get that cold, and the blossoms and the blooms and the flowers, they all start really, really early. Oh, I like this comment from Simona. Actually, I think this is part two. Let's go back. Let's find part one of the comment. Okay, Simona said, I am first time in the live stream. So I'm watching the live stream for the first time. I'm a new Culips member. Welcome. Amazing. I started listening to Culips half a year ago. It is amazing. And here's part two. It's not only about English for me. For me, it is good about many topics of podcasts. When I listened to the podcast and Kassy told me about kimchi, I maybe tried making my first kimchi. Simona, did you try eating your first kimchi, like eating kimchi for the first time? Or did you try making kimchi for the first time? And also, how was it? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? For people who aren't familiar with kimchi, it is a kind of fermented cabbage dish that is super, super, super popular here in Korea. Like it is the staple, maybe the number one most famous Korean food. And since I live in Korea, I actually eat kimchi every day. And it feels weird for me now when I eat Korean food if there's no kimchi around. Like, I just love it. But I have to say, the very first time I tried it, I did think it was a little bit strange. But it's one of those things that as you eat it more and more and more, you really grow to love it and crave it even. Ah, okay. I'm just reading. I'm reading Chennai's comments. Okay. KBI. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Chennai's last comment was talking about how I talked to some people at the KBI and I couldn't remember. What is KBI? Is this something I talked about? But this is a place in my hometown called the Kelowna Beer Institute. And in one of the bonus episodes from maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I told a story about how I was in this place. I went there with my brother actually to meet some of his friends and celebrate his birthday. And we were the only customers in this pub. It's kind of a pub called the KBI, the not the Korean, the Kelowna Beer Institute. And while we were there, I overheard some Korean customers. In fact, we were the only table at the place. And then a little bit later, these other Korean customers came and I heard them speaking. And so I was so shocked that I went over and introduced myself and talked to them for a little bit. It was fun. Amazing. I just got my driving license. Nice. Very, very good. Congratulations on that achievement. I know that's not easy. It can be very stressful to get we usually say driver's license. Driver's license. So that's amazing. Congratulations on that achievement. And now what's next for you? Are you driving a lot these days? I know when I got my driver's license about 2 years ago, maybe. Has it already been 2 years? Wow. Pretty close to 2 years ago now. After I got my driver's license, I've barely driven. Uh, when I was in Canada, I drove a little bit. My dad let me borrow his car and I drove just for a little bit. But I haven't driven in Korea at all. Maybe that's because I don't own a car. So are you planning on driving? Wow. Okay. Great comment here. What was the most exciting thing you did in February? I took the IELTS test and got band 8 in speaking and also band 8 in writing. Wow, that's amazing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really familiar with the IELTS exam, actually. I know many Culips members and listeners do IELTS and take that exam. So I should do my homework one of these days and learn more about this exam. But as far as I know, there are only 9 bands. Is that correct? So if you get band 8, that means that's a very high score. So congratulations. That's amazing. The most exciting thing this month, because I practiced a lot, or I did practice a lot with Culips and my friends. I love it. I love it. This is an amazing story. Congratulations on that. Well, you guys got up to some exciting things in February. Here's another one. I went to Paris with my friend last week. It was my friend's wish to go there. I'm jealous. It's my wish to go there too. It was my friend's wish to go there. It was a nice to visit Paris again. Every time I visit Paris, I like that city more and more. Wonderful. Birdfly, I know you're commuting right now on the train. So I'm not going to really be too picky here, but I will just delete this A. It was nice. It was nice to visit Paris again. Every time I visit Paris, I like the city more and more. That's amazing. I visited Paris. I've been to Paris only once. And wow, it must have been at least maybe around 2012 or 13. So it's been, at least 10 years, if not more. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look at my photos and see the date of when those photos were taken. I know that some people have this really amazing ability to recall dates and times from their past, but for me, it's always a little bit of a blur. Like, when exactly did I go there? I can't remember. It's probably around Oh, it would have been even earlier than that. May have been around 2010 or 2011. So definitely over 10 years ago since I visited Paris. So I'm due for another visit, I think. Well, this sounds like an interesting experience. In February, I visited the Taiwan Lantern Festival in Taipei. That was a very good experience and I enjoyed it very much. Wow. So, Pijon, what kind of things do you do at the Lantern Festival? I've been to kind of a small lantern festival here in Korea, and I just kind of walked around and looked at the beautiful lanterns and displays. Is that kind of the similar thing that you do in Taipei as well? I'll just give you a little grammar feedback here. We don't need to use the past perfect. We can just use the simple past tense for this kind of situation. So we can just say I visited, not I had visited, and that will sound a lot more natural. Beautiful. Sammy wrote, after considering for a while, I finally decided to become a Culips member. Thank you. Which was the most exciting thing for me. Wow, it's very exciting for us as well. Amazing, Sammy. I'm curious, what was your motivation? You know, you're thinking about it for a while. You said you were thinking and deciding about it for a while, and then you made the decision to sign up. In English, we have an idiom. Let me see. Can I share this on the screen with you guys? To pull the trigger. I'm 99% positive that we've talked about this idiom before on Culips, but just in case anybody doesn't know, to pull the trigger means to make a decision after thinking about something for a long time. So you're like, should I become a Culips member? Should I study with something else? Should I quit studying English? Should I do this? Should I do this? Right? You have like all these choices in life, but then finally you make a decision. In English, we can say pull the trigger. So you pulled the trigger. And Sammy, my question for you is, why did you pull the trigger? Why did you pull the trigger? So that means, why did you decide to become a Culips member? Cool. Thank you guys for all of these amazing comments. It's a little bit difficult, to be honest with you, a little bit difficult for me to do the stream on my own. But when we have a very active comment section and you guys are sharing all of these great stories, it makes it a lot easier. So keep it up. Keep it up. I'm loving it. Yoko said, I hope you can all see these comments all right. My head is a little big here, blocking all of it. Okay. I'll go like that, so my head will be out of the way of the comment. Yoko wrote, I went to see a movie with my daughter last weekend. It was the Hollywood movie called Fall, which would be too scary for people who are acrophobic to see it. I really enjoyed seeing it though. Okay, Fall. I haven't heard of that movie before, Yoko. What is the story about? If it's a story like a horror movie or something, because you said it's scary, then it's probably not going to be on my watch list because I don't like watching scary movies. And did you find it scary, Yoko? Here is a comment from Laura. Laura wrote, I visited my sister and her family who live in Cordoba, a province 800 kilometers away from Buenos Aires. We had a great time enjoying the landscape, and catching up. Amazing. Okay, fantastic. I wonder, what is the landscape like in that place? Is it like very mountainy, or is it more deserty, or maybe more jungly. What is the landscape like, the scenery like in Cordoba? That's pretty far away, too, 800 kilometers. How did you get there? Did you drive or take a train or a plane or a bus? Hopefully you flew. Flying would be the easiest. Kareem, I've been promoted. Amazing. Welcome. Congratulations, rather. Congratulations on the promotion. That's fantastic. It's always nice to be like recognized, right? When you're doing a good job and people say, "Hey, good job." Like, yeah, I think you're ready for this new position with more responsibilities and hopefully a bigger paycheck too, right? That's kind of why we work for, one of the main reasons why we work is to get a paycheck. And if you get promoted, then sometimes that is a nice bonus that comes along with that. Jazz Haru says, I went to Busan, which is a city in the very, very south of Korea. It's South Korea's second biggest city, and it's on the ocean. It's a nice place. I've been there a few times myself. I've always enjoyed it. So Jazz Haru went to Busan with her daughter. She is 7 years old for 4 days without my husband. It was really exciting. 4 days without your husband. That's awesome. What did you guys do in Busan? I'm trying to think. What have I done in the past in Busan? Of course, there's this really big beach that's famous called Haeundae, but I'm imagining that it's probably not as busy in the winter, but it's still like a cool place to go. There's also lots of good food in Busan, especially seafood, and there's a kind of pork soup, I believe, that's like a famous food down there that I've tried before as well. Maybe you tried that. It's been a little while since I've been to Busan, actually. When was the last time I was there? It's at least 3 years. At least 3 years. So I'm due to go to Paris again and also due to visit Busan again, although Busan is much, much easier to visit for me. It's just a short train ride, a couple of hours away. Quing wrote, I'm learning the new things on digital marketing to insist this month. Okay, to insist this month. Um, that's amazing. Learning digital marketing. Cool. A very, very in demand kind of skill right now is this kind of digital marketing. And maybe you can share some tips with me about how we can market Culips English podcast. I actually don't know very much about marketing, but that's great. And it's always nice to learn new things. It's always good to be active and learning. I know that the one thing that joins our community together here is that you're all learning English, and that, of course, is fantastic. And I'm happy to be a part of that with you. But aside from that, too, if you can always, squeeze in a new skill, learning some information about something or how to do something, it always just makes our lives a little bit more rewarding, doesn't it? Simona wrote, going back to that kimchi question, I made kimchi the first time and ate kimchi the second time. Okay, very nice, Simona. So we just put it in the past tense to make it a little bit more natural. I made kimchi the first time and ate kimchi the second time. Perfect. Okay, that's very interesting. So I'm wondering, like, was there a big difference between the kimchi that you made and the one that you had, maybe at a restaurant or from the store? I've actually never tried making kimchi myself, believe it or not. I've had homemade kimchi before that other people have made and shared with me, but I've never tried making it myself. Korean kimchi, what I can get at the supermarket, tastes better than mine. Yeah, so I think making kimchi is not very easy. It's a skill that needs to be developed and practiced. And yeah, pretty much, I think I could say this for a lot of foods, in my opinion. Like the things that I make at home are okay. And I'm not a terrible cook, but often if I go to a restaurant or a supermarket and buy a pre made one that a professional has prepared, it's usually better. Okay, let's see. Wow. So I think we are going to the follow-up questions. I asked almost everybody a question in response to their answer to this question up here. What is the most exciting thing you did in February? And now people are answering those. So yeah, you know what? Let's go through a couple of these comments. And I'm just looking at the clock. We've already spent 40 minutes just chatting and hanging out. So that's great. I'll go through the comments here for maybe another 5 or 10 minutes. And then like I said, I'm going to open the live stream. And if anybody wants to call in and chat for a couple of minutes, that would be great. So we'll do that in just a moment. I think probably we won't have time for the article, but that's okay. Like I said, I think we're going to talk about this article on an upcoming Culips episode. And if not, we can save it for an upcoming live stream as well. So Laura's trip to, I can't remember the place, but a place that's 800 kilometers away. She wrote, it was a short trip, but an exciting one since we could enjoy nature, the fresh air, and the river. And my son and my nephews enjoyed each other. Yeah, playing with your cousins when you're young is really, really fun, right? So that was probably a very good time for you all. Great. Laura, I'm just noticing your avatar picture. And it looks like a Star Wars. I'm not sure if that's you or a character from the Star Wars movie. But are you a Star Wars fan? The lightsaber. It's pretty cool. Okay. So now that you got your driving license, you're planning to buy, or driver's license, I should say, planning to buy a car to start going to my workplace by myself. Awesome. I want to do that. One of these days, I'll buy a car and drive. These days, I just walk, ride the bus, ride the subway, sometimes ride my bicycle. It's good too, but I have a dream of a car one day. Oh, yeah. Okay. Exactly. Kareem, nice connection that you made there. That is exactly a perfect thing to say in the situation where you are making a big decision and this expression to take the plunge, take the plunge. So they're very, very similar. I would say that the take the plunge you use when there is more uncertainty about whether the decision will be a good decision or a bad decision. Like you're really not sure, will this be a good thing to do? Will it be like a waste of time or a waste of money, or will it just like not work out well? And then finally you're like, I don't know, but I'm going to go this way. I'm going to make this decision. And then you do it. In that kind of situation, we can say take the plunge. So you're absolutely right that it is about making a decision, but maybe when the consequences are a little bit greater. But yeah, you could definitely say, I made the plunge or I took the plunge and decided to study English with Culips. Absolutely, you could say that. Good thinking. You thought of that expression before I did. Okay, Laura took a plane. Nice. Nice. Good choice. Good choice. Aha. Okay, let's see. These comments a little bit big. I think I'm going to need to adjust these comments later for the next live stream because the avatar picture is big and the text is small. I hope you all can see it here. I will read it nonetheless. So Sammy said, thank you for asking. For one thing, your technology, we can follow what you're saying by seeing the script, is amazing and appealing. The second reason is that I happen to know that Anna was your co-host. Okay, so you're familiar with Anna already. Perfect, Sammy. Well, welcome, like I said. It's great to have you. Okay, wow, I'm overwhelmed with comments today. I'm loving it. I'm loving this interaction, guys. Fantastic. But I'm just worried that I might skip over somebody's comment. So I hope I don't do that. But like I said, if I do, please forgive me. Sakura. Sakura. Sakura, is the pronunciation like that, Sakura? Or is it more like Sakura? I feel like it's the first one. Closer to the first one than the second one. Maybe English speakers would say Sakura, but I think maybe a Japanese person would say something closer to Sakura. But I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know. Okay. anyways, I baked scones twice this month. It was the first time experiencing baking them. Usually we say bake a scone. They got burnt first, but I made it the second time. All right. Well, you hung in there, you tried again, and that's amazing. Were the scones delicious? One thing that Culips listeners, and you guys probably don't know, I don't think, oh, maybe we did talk about it on Culips before, actually, but whenever Kassy comes to Seoul, we usually hang out and we record some Culips content, and usually we spend just a day together working. She doesn't visit Seoul too often, but from time to time she does. And one of the things that we like to do is go to a scone shop that is not directly in my neighborhood. It's a little bit of a hike. We have to walk like 10 or 15 or 20 minutes to get there. But we've done that 3 times now, I think. And the scones are always really delicious from this scone shop. So that's kind of our Culips tradition. Whenever Kassy and I get together in the same place at the same time to record, then we always go to the scone shop. And it's very, very delicious. I'm a big fan of scones. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, I would not like this movie, I think, Yoko. Doesn't sound like my style of movie. Fall is an exciting and scary story with a woman who is going up to the top of the 400-meter tower and is left alone because the ladder is broken. No, not my kind of movie. But if it's exciting and you enjoyed it, then that's great. Different, in English we say different strokes for different folks. Have you guys heard that expression before? Let me see if I can spell it out here for you. Different strokes for different folks. This expression means, I'm not exactly sure what strokes means in this expression, like exactly. That's not important. Just remember what the whole expression together means. Different strokes for different folks. It just means that, there's many different people in the world and everybody has different interests and different dislikes as well. And that's okay. Some people can like some things and some people can dislike things, and that's fine. Different strokes for different folks. Here, folks means people, right? So different people like different things, and it's all good. All right. I'm happy because Chris is from Canada. Hi, I'm Chris from Canada. Chris is welcome. It's great to have you here. But earlier in the broadcast, I was talking about how we had many, many people from different countries around the world watching us for this live stream, but nobody from North America. And now we have somebody from Canada. So that means truly, I think we have somebody from every continent today. So that's amazing. All continents around the world, except I guess not Australia. Do you guys consider Australia a continent? I guess technically that sort of Oceania, right, area is a continent. But hey, it's okay. Chris, welcome to the broadcast. All right. Wow, too many comments here. Have you tried a green tea scone? Has anybody tried a green tea scone? This is from Pyeongmoon Sam. I think that's maybe a nickname. I'm not sure. Anyways, have you tried a green tea scone? Have I? Yes, I have tried them and they are very good. Um, Actually, this is going to sound maybe a little bit crazy to people who like scones, but I've mentioned this on the podcast before, I'm sure. But one of my favorite foods is peanuts. And so anything that's peanut butter or peanut related, or if it has that ingredient inside of it, then I just love eating that food. And the scone bakery where I used to go to get my scones, or where I guess I still go to get my scones, they used to have a peanut butter scone, and it was just amazing. It was like peanut scone, not peanut butter, peanut scone. It was amazing. I loved it, but it wasn't popular, so they stopped making it, and now I can't get it anymore. But green tea is also a good choice. Yes, very delicious. Kind of tastes to answer to answer Laura's question. How does it taste? It tastes like a scone plus a little slight green tea flavor. All right. So we're in the final 10 minutes or so of the broadcast. So I am going to open the live stream. So if anybody would like to call in and chat with me for a few minutes, feel free to do that. I always like talking with you guys. So if you want to do it, feel free, but there's no pressure, okay? If you don't want to call in, that's totally all right. So let me just make sure that this link is correct. Here we go. And I will paste this in the chat as well. So if you would like to join the live stream and chat with me for a moment, what you have to do is just enter this URL into your web browser. It should work for your computer, or it should work for your phone as well. And once you call in, you will be in a kind of waiting room. And once I notice that you're in the waiting room, then I will try and bring you into the live stream. And yeah, we could talk for a couple of moments. So here is the link in the chat. And we'll see if somebody calls in. As we're doing that, I'll answer a couple, or I'll respond to a couple more of these comments. Well, let me see just a second here. I'm going to try and maybe this is too complicated for me to do now. I don't think I can fix the comment size. There we go. Well, busy screen. Okay. You're correct. You should put a stress on sa to call the name Sakura. Okay. I'd like to visit the scone shop for the near future. Could you please put together a tour for Culips listeners in person? I don't think I'd be the greatest tour guide for Korea. I think maybe if a Korean person wanted to do that job, that would be better than me. But yeah, if anybody ever visits Seoul, definitely hit me up, contact me, and I can give you some recommendations about places to visit that, at least in my opinion, are interesting. Guys, I think we have a caller here. I have to put my headphones on and we'll see. Okay, great. Let me get this set up. We have some callers, not caller, callers. This is exciting. Okay, how will I do this? So I can see, I think it's maybe Ingrid and Carla probably here together. And I'm going to try and bring them on.
Yes.
There we go. Hello. Can you hear me?
You are nervous and happy to see
Okay,
you.
I have no audio for you. This is a problem. I can't hear, unfortunately.
Can you hear us?
Why? Okay, sorry. Sorry there, Ingrid.
Can you hear us?
Okay, there we go. Sorry, my computer had the wrong setting. Okay.
We are a little bit nervous to be here and very happy to see you.
You guys are the twins, right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, welcome. It's so fantastic. So, it's funny, in my head, when you guys were typing the comments, I always assumed that maybe you are in different places, but you are watching together.
Yes, usually you are in a different place, but today to be together with you, we are together, and we made the accounts. We think that the life here was 7 in the morning, and then Carla came to my house 7 in the morning. But it's true that it began here at 8 in the morning.
Ah, so you were up early this morning.
Yeah, I just want to kill Ingrid because I come 1 hour before
Mm,
start the live.
well, thank you for calling in, guys. It's great to talk with you. What is your plan for today? I guess it's early in the morning, so you've got the whole day ahead of you. Do you have any things that you're going to do together?
No, no, we are together now, but after the live, each one has your work, your things. We are together just from to the live.
Ah, just for the
Andrew,
live.
I want to tell you, then I live English all my life, but
Mm-hmm.
I never like to study.
Mm-hmm.
And when I when I know Culips, I'm
Mm-hmm.
very happy because it's the first time in my life I really enjoy to study English. Me and Ingrid, we chose every week a episode,
Mm-hmm.
and we study this episode. And you take a class 1 hour in a life because we don't live together,
Uh-huh.
but we spend 1 hour a week to just talk about the episode then we chose. And I'm
Wow.
very grateful. And also, we make every we study alone, each one in her house,
Mm-hmm.
and we make the quiz.
Uh-huh.
And every time we say, "Oh, 5 for 5," oh no, today just 3 for 5, and we are very happy with.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, you guys are lucky that you have each other because you can study together and help each other just like you did. I just saw you share some vocabulary with each other. So that's amazing.
And Andrew, we
Mm.
had an idea we want to share with you.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
First of all, we want to invite you to come to Brazil.
I would love
You can
to.
come with your beautiful wife.
Yes.
And I live in a beach 2 hours from São Paulo. It's a very nice place.
Okay.
Both you can stay there.
Oh, I love it.
But but if you like to make a travel, not just a laser travel, Ingrid will tell our idea for you.
Okay.
Yes, yesterday I just studied the episode of the cut of overwork. Okay,
Oh, yes,
and
yes.
we had an idea that you can come also to enjoy. And Carla, really, he has a beautiful house in front of the beach. You
Mm.
can come with your wife and enjoy. And we think about to make to organize a 1 day workshop. Really, we
Mm.
can organize in São Paulo City. I live in São Paulo City,
Okay.
and we have a lot of friends. Of we think maybe we have a few or some or a lot. I don't know. Interesting persons to do 1 day workshop, an activity, to have a place in a hotel. We don't know.
English
We
Day.
can, and to make one English day. Then we want that you think about the idea. We can help you to organize everything, and we'll be very happy. You know, the ideas
I love it. I
begin
love
like
it.
this.
I would absolutely love to do that. I think maybe I've mentioned on Culips before, but when I was a student, I had lots of friends and actually some professors as well who were from Brazil, and I just love them. Like they're fantastic people and really just kind and warm, and they always made me feel like I have to go to Brazil one day. Like it's just a place that's been on my bucket list. Unfortunately, it's really far from Korea, so it's not easy to get to. But if I can ever go to South America one day, I would just love to. And now that I have an invitation to visit and you guys have this great idea, then I'm going to definitely consider that. I won't forget that. And I'll tell my wife, and if she's on board, then maybe we could make it happen.
Please put in the first of your list of places
On
to
the
visit. Put Brazil.
Now
All right.
put the thought,
It put in
put
the
the
top.
thought in your head and put in your heart also to come and to make two things, also to work and also to enjoy. And really, if you come to Brazil, Brazil, it's an amazing place.
Mm.
It's too big. You need a few days to know many places. If you arrive to Brazil, it's very far away from Korea,
Hmm.
but it's very good to take a few days and to know, North Brazil. There are amazing places with beautiful beaches, and also in the South Brazil, we have like Niagara Falls, okay,
Oh yeah.
Falls do Iguaçu. It's an amazing place. It's a lot of it's many places that it's very nice to enjoy at least 2 weeks here to
Two
know.
weeks. At
And
least two
me and
weeks.
Ingrid, we can help you to organize, okay?
Okay,
Because
I
you,
love
if
it. And
you
maybe you can help me with the language as well. I don't speak any Portuguese, so you could be my translators while I visit.
We try with our English, okay?
Your
will
English
be
is
a pleasure.
excellent. Your English is very, very good. I'm very impressed.
And
Well,
we can help you. Just a second, because we worked for 30 years with tourism,
oh,
and we
really?
have an
Okay.
experience with this. And you can, we'll be very happy to help you.
Happy to help me. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. And I really am thankful for you guys calling in as well. It's nice to put, we say, put a name to the face, like match just the name that I see online with your personality and your face, and to get to know you a little bit. So, guys, thank you so much for calling. I think we have another user actually trying to call in. So, I'm going to leave things here for now, but have a great day. And thanks again.
Thank
Thank
you.
I'll see
you
you
for you
next time
too,
in
for
Brazil.
everybody. Bye.
Bye
Have a good
bye. Okay, that was awesome. Amazing. And we have another special guest here. Oh, maybe I accidentally hung up. I think maybe our viewer from Taiwan was trying to call in. If you want to try one more time to call back, I will try to squeeze you in to the stream. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We got Pigeon. Pigeon is here. and I will try and bring them onto the broadcast. Hello, Pigeon, are you there? Pigeon, hello? Okay, I think it says Pigeon has muted themselves, so maybe Pigeon, you can check. Looks like you are on mute on my side. Okay, we lost Pigeon, but we have another caller here. I'm gonna try and bring them in. Chennai, I think is here.
Hello.
Hello, Chennai, hello.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Do
Yes.
you recognize me?
Yeah, you called in before, right? Yes. How's it going? Good to see you again.
Yeah, everything is okay with me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nice.
then the reason why I call in today is I just like to share something
Sure.
that how I use your podcast to improve my English skills.
Awesome.
So
That's,
like
I think,
yeah,
something that
yeah.
many of our viewers will find interesting. And me too, I find that fascinating to know everybody's different study techniques and study methods. So yeah, how do you study with Culips?
I just listen to your podcast at least 5 times without
Mm-hmm.
any transcript. Just
5
listening to
times,
the
no
audio.
transcript, just audio,
Yeah, at least
at
maybe or
least.
5 times or 10 times like that. And then after that, with the transcript that accompanies the episode,
Mm-hmm.
I listen to the episode again. And then finally, I print out the transcript
Mm-hmm.
to study some new vocabulary for me
Mm.
using my dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found that when I see the real sentences uh, on paper,
Mm-hmm.
it really helped me remember into my brain, remember the sentences, the structure
Right,
into my
right.
brain.
Okay.
Yeah, and then actually, I have an English class here because the school is great, and then the school provides some English classes
Mm.
with the English speaking teacher. So
Oh, nice.
when we meet on Zoom like that, I try to practice some sentences from your episode.
Okay.
And then it's really amazing. Like I just say some sentence, and then she understands me
Mm-hmm.
without any problem. It's really interesting.
Well, your English sounds excellent, and you were talking about sentence structure, and I think your sentence structure is like perfect. I didn't notice anything bizarre or incorrect at all. So it's
And
working. I
then
think your study method is
nowadays,
working.
uh, nowadays I have been binge listening to your podcast, the
Binge
audios, and then
listening.
you
Nice.
know what? You know what? The more I listen to your podcast, the more I get to know about you,
Mm-hmm.
and then I
Maybe
think
too
it's
much.
kind of yeah, kind of it's kind of scary for you. Like there are so many people who knows a lot about you, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't know about us.
Yeah, it is something that I'm a little bit not worried about, but it is something that I'm aware of now that I've been doing the podcast for so long that, yeah, there are a lot of people that know lots of things about me, probably. But um, I think, yeah, maybe anybody that does this kind of work, anybody that has a podcast, anybody that has a YouTube channel, anybody that has a blog, they're always sharing some stuff with their audience, right? I try these days, I'm a little bit cautious about how much I share. I don't want to share too much personal information about, my family or my wife or something without their permission. So I try and really only talk about myself. But yeah, it is something that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for calling in and sharing your study method. I did have one follow up question for you. And so you told us your process of like listening to the episode and then studying with the transcript and printing it off. After you do all that, do you ever go back and just listen to the episode without the transcript again?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I just like listening the episode again and again. I think it's my strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
I learned it from you. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
I don't feel bored when I listen to the same podcast over and over again. That's my
Nice.
strong suit. Yeah.
It's your strong suit. Do you have a favorite episode? Was there
Like
one that was your
a sweet
favorite?
mystery, a sweet mystery, and then about your wedding.
Mm.
And I like everything, but especially I like bonus episode and then simplified speech with Kassy and
Mm-hmm.
fluency file. But with Anna, what was that? Cat Chatterbox? It's
Chatterbox.
yeah, her speaking is so fast for me, too
Mm-hmm.
fast for me. So I had have to slow down the speed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's great, but uh, with her, the chat box is a bit difficult for me.
Don't worry, you'll get there. She is a kind of fast speaker, but we want to make sure that we include that kind of content in Culips as well because there's so many different kinds of English speakers around the world, and a lot of them talk really fast. And so it's important to listen to the fast speakers as well. But yeah, you'll get there. And I think if you keep up this process of studying like the way you're studying, you'll get there sooner than you think.
Yeah, and I also like to know about other Culips members how they study English with your audio
Awesome.
episode.
Maybe that could be the theme for our next live stream is to share about how we study with Culips. I guess I don't study with Culips, but how our how our members study with Culips. So I like that suggestion. Let's make that the special topic for our next stream in March. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'll let you go, but thank you so much for calling in, and it was good to see you again. Take care. Okay.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye bye. All right. I think we have still one person waiting to get on. Pigeon. Pigeon is here. Okay. I can see you now. And let's see.
Hi.
Hello, Pigeon. Can you hear me?
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, great, great. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. I know we had some technical difficulties, but you're here now. This is great.
I'm really sorry because there's some technical problems about my computer.
It's okay. It's okay. So, Pigeon, what would you like to talk about?
I just want to say I'm really thank you for your English podcast.
Oh, no
I really
problem.
learned I really learned it very much.
Okay, so how long have you been studying with Culips?
Since last year.
Just since last year. Okay, so
Yeah,
you're pretty new to the podcast.
yeah. But I really love it because maybe the topics, maybe your vocal quality is
Mm.
very good.
It's
And
just the good mic that I have. It's just the good microphone.
yeah, it looks like very expensive microphone.
A little bit expensive, yeah, but that's what makes my voice sound nice, I think.
Oh, and the topics, I really love your topics about
Okay.
maybe uh, every time you talk something like movies or music.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I really enjoy it very.
Okay, awesome. So those are your favorite kind of topics about music or movies or TV shows, that kind of thing?
Yes, yes. Mhm.
Fantastic. Do you have a
Such
favorite series?
yeah, such as you suggest a movie, a Korean movie
Mm-hmm.
last time, and it's a very good movie. I
I
also watch it.
I can't remember what the movie was that I talked about. Ah,
Ah,
I think I know which
the
one.
the
Maybe
character is a Chinese character, Chinese female character.
the English title for that movie is Decision to Leave. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's a. Did you enjoy that movie?
Yes, I enjoyed very much.
Yeah, me too. I love that movie. I think maybe it is nominated for a big award, the Oscar award in the USA, coming up pretty soon. So I'm excited to see if it wins that big award. Crossing my
Yes,
fingers.
yes. I don't know the movie, but after you suggested, I watched the movie. It's very
Yeah, I that the character that you mentioned, the Chinese actress, she's actually speaking Korean in the movie, and so that was awesome for me because I'm a Korean learner and also she
mm,
is a second language Korean speaker. So I
mm.
love that to see that in a movie was really really interesting for me as well.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Well, it was so nice for you to call in, and I'm glad that we finally got you onto the broadcast. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
Uh, I just listened the extra listener talked about
Mm,
how to study English from your podcast.
hmm.
Uh, I want to talk about my experience.
Yeah. What's your study method like?
First, I will listen to your podcast about twice,
Mm-hmm.
and because when I work um, for community, I don't have time to look the transcript, so
Okay.
I just listen by my earphone, maybe,
Okay.
and after twice, I will check the transcript and I will read it, read it with, read it with you.
Kind of like like shadowing almost, reading
Yeah,
as
yeah,
you listen.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Perfect.
right.
Perfect. Okay.
But there is some vocabularies I don't know.
Sure.
I think that's the problem because even though there's a transcript, but there are just some vocabulary not showing, not in the transcript for explanation. So I have to check the um, website to look up the meaning of the vocabularies.
Yeah, I feel bad about that. I wish we could give a better glossary, and maybe we could, but one of the issues, as you can see from just watching tonight, is that we have people from all around the world studying with our content, and they all speak
Uh,
different languages. So it's impossible for us to explain everything because, yeah, it just makes it difficult when we have the global audience like that. So I would say my advice to you would be don't feel like you need to search for every single word that you don't understand because
okay,
sometimes that can be overwhelming. But maybe if you think like I really am interested in knowing what this word means, then you could search for it. Or like personally, when I study Korean and I'm studying with a TV show or a book and I
mm-hmm,
see words that I don't understand, I will look up some of them,
mm-hmm,
but not too many. I try to only learn maximum like 5 to 10 words per day. And if I'm searching more than 5 words or 10 words in a day, then I know I won't remember it. So just look up a little bit. And the beautiful thing is that I think, especially with Culips, is that we repeat ourselves often. So maybe one episode you'll see this word and you don't know what it means exactly, but then you'll hear me say it a little bit later in another episode, and then you'll hear it again in another episode, and then maybe the fourth time you hear it in another episode, then it will click and you can understand. So
okay,
that would be my
okay,
advice to you. Don't burn yourself out looking upwards. You don't want to look up 100 words per episode or something. That might be overwhelming, but look up some, and with time and more repetition, you'll eventually start to fill in the gaps and learn all of the English words.
yeah, okay. Even though I don't know the meaning of vocabularies, maybe I can understand the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
area. 90%.
90%. Amazing.
Yes.
That's exactly the kind of spot that you want to be at, because that means that the 10% that you don't know, you will be able to focus in on and start to learn that extra vocabulary to fill in the gaps.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your study method. And I'm going to let you go now, but it was amazing to talk with you. And yeah, keep up the good work with your studies. I'm really motivated by how hard everybody studies. It's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Andrew. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody. Amazing. Technically 4 callers today. That's fantastic. That's a new record for our live stream. And yeah, so let's make that our theme for the next live stream, is about how to study with Culips. I'd love to hear more of your ideas. Of course, I have ideas, and the Culips team, we've made some tutorials and some documents to share about some ways that we think you can improve your English with the content that we make. But of course, there are so many ways. There are like probably thousands of different ways that you could study English with Culips, and hearing directly from you guys about how you study with Culips is really, really interesting, and I think also really, really helpful for the whole community. So with that in mind, let's do that for our March live stream next month, which will be happening towards the end of the month. I haven't set the schedule for it, but I'll try and do that sooner than later, and I will announce that on our websites and on social media as well. And I'll try to remember to send out an email newsletter to remind everybody also. So guys, I'm going to run. My wife is waiting for me to finish so that we can eat dinner together. So I don't want to keep her waiting. I better go. But thank you for joining me here tonight. Have a great March, and I will talk to you toward the end of the month for the next live stream. So take care, everybody, and I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.